Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to walk through a simple but pretty powerful 28-day experiment that could totally change how you see the world. If you've ever heard about this whole gratitude thing and thought, yeah, but where do I even start? Well, you're in the right place.
I love this quote because, let's be real, this is where most of us start, skeptical. The idea that just being thankful could make any real difference in our lives, it can sound a little out there. But stick with me, because we are going to break down the exact step-by-step routine that took someone from total disbelief to a complete mindset shift.
So where does this all come from? The entire plan is laid out in Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic. And look, this isn't just about thinking happy thoughts, not at all. It's a structured 28-day program with a specific thing to do each day. Think of it less like wishful thinking and more like a workout plan for your brain, designed to build a brand new mental habit from the ground up.
So what's the core idea? It really all comes down to consistency. Like training a muscle at the gym. These small daily exercises are meant to train your mind to start looking for the good things automatically. The goal is to turn gratitude from something you feel once in a while into your mind's default setting.
Okay, let's get into how it actually works. Like I said, this whole thing starts way simpler than you might think. The entire 28-day journey, with all its different twists and turns, is built on just two core habits. You start them on day one, and you keep them going the whole time. If you can get these two things down, you're golden.
So here they are. First up, the morning list. Before you do anything else, before coffee, before you check your phone, you sit down and write out 10 things you're grateful for. They can be huge, they can be tiny. The key, though, is to read each one back and really feel it as you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then you have the evening anchor. Right before you go to sleep, you hold a little object, like a smooth stone, and you scan your entire day to find the one single best thing that happened. And you just give thanks for that moment.
And that's it. That's the bedrock of the whole practice. This simple rhythm of starting and ending your day with intention. Every single other exercise for the next 4 weeks is just built right on top of this. Its power isn't in how complicated it is, but in that daily repetition that bookends your day with positivity.
Okay, so once you've got that daily rhythm going, the practice starts to expand outward. It takes that general feeling of gratitude you've been building and starts to focus it, kind of like a magnifying glass, on the really big, important parts of your life.
The program zeroes in on these 4 big pillars of life. Each one gets its own dedicated day with a very specific, hands-on exercise. So you're moving from a general, I'm thankful vibe to a really powerful, targeted appreciation for the things that truly shape your world.
So for relationships, it gets super specific. You don't just think, oh, I'm grateful for my friend. No, the exercise is to actually get a photo of them, look at it, and write down 5 specific reasons you appreciate them. Their laugh, the way they helped you that one time, their terrible jokes. It's that detail that makes the feeling so real. And then there's health, something so many of us completely take for granted until it's not there. The exercise is incredibly simple. Just write this sentence on a card and put it somewhere you'll see it. Reading it slowly a few times a day forces you to just stop for a second and connect with the absolute miracle of having a body that's working to keep you alive.
Now, this one is really interesting because it tackles a subject that's, loaded with stress for so many people. By writing this phrase on an actual dollar bill or a note, you physically change that money from a source of anxiety into a symbol of gratitude. The whole focus shifts from what you don't have to an appreciation for all the money and abundance you've already had in your life.
Okay, so that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? It's one thing to be grateful when everything's going great, but what about when things are genuinely hard? When you're in a tough spot or dealing with a difficult person? Well, the program has a really powerful technique for exactly those moments.
And this shows you how it works perfectly. You don't ignore the problem, you look it straight in the eye. But instead of just stewing in the negativity, you force your brain to go on a scavenger hunt to find 10 things you can be grateful for within that very situation. Now, this doesn't make the problem magically vanish, but what it does is completely change your energy around it, which often opens you up to solutions you just couldn't see before.
So, the big question. How do all these little things, writing lists, looking at photos, reading cards, actually add up to that huge mindset shift we talked about in the beginning? How does it actually work?
The answer is all in this number. The magic, if you want to call it that, isn't in one specific exercise. It's in the consistency. It's doing it for 28 days straight. That sustained, focused practice literally forges new pathways in your brain. Day by day, you're training your mind to look for the positive until it just becomes second nature.
And honestly, this might be the most important takeaway of all. This 28-day experiment is not going to magically solve every problem you have. Life is still going to be life, with all its ups and downs. But the goal was never to get a perfect life. The goal is to change how you experience the life you already have. It's about changing your perception, and that changes everything.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. From shifting your day-to-day focus to maybe even transforming your relationship with your biggest challenges, the potential is pretty huge. The only question left is, what could 28 days of this practice unlock for you?